Speaker, Deputy Speaker, my question without...
Honorable Member for Wawaria, let me come back to your word of addressing the chair. In the absence of our speaker, you're right by saying the acting speaker. Go ahead with your question.
Thank you, acting speaker. Acting Speaker, my question without notice is directed to the good Minister of State-Owned Enterprise, Honorable William Duma. Before I ask the question, I would like to give some background. This with regard to the electricity issues in Leh City. As I think, please let me ask my question. Like Leh City, everyone knows that Leh City is the second, we are talking about cities, and Leh City is the second largest city in this country. And it is also the industrial hub and manufacturing hub, and also the biggest port in this country. And it is the second garden, everlasting garden of this country too. It generates a lot of GST. And over all these years, we are having unstable, intolerable electricity issues in Leh City. And this has affected businesses, this has affected residents, and affected everyone. We are suffering in Leh City. This issue has been going on for like ever now. Mr. Speaker, now, whether you are in government or opposition, you will still suffer.
Order. Order.
Electricity affects everyone, whether in government or opposition. But especially now, this question is for the people of Leh and people of Morobe. We would like to know, as the good Minister of State-Owned Enterprise responsible for electricity, has any solution for the power problem in Leh. And not only Leh, we have also power problems in Makam, my good Deputy Speaker, Acting Speaker. Up your highway, there is issues with power. And also Bulolo, we have faced Jenek, which Bulolo district hosts Jenek farm, which produces chicken for this country. And PNG Forest. This district is also facing electricity problem too. And also Wawaria too.
Honorable Member for Wawaria, you ask your question.
Yeah,
I have a greater conflict of interest in your question, so please ask the question.
So, my good Minister, I think we can leave the towns aside, but the city we can, if the good minister can give an answer to the people of, to the business houses and the people of Leh, what solutions he has for the electricity issue in Leh, and what is he doing? And when are we expecting these solutions to be provided? And can the good minister keep the people of Leh and the business houses of Leh informed and updated on a quarterly or monthly basis on what they are doing in terms of the power issues in Leh? Thank you.
Honorable Minister for State Enterprise, I have to declare my interest in that question, so I would expect to hear an answer from you.
Thank you, Acting Speaker, and I'd like to thank the member for Wawaria for this question, very important question. First, I want to point out that as Minister responsible for PNG Power, I don't have a private generator in my house. I don't even have a separate power connection to my house in Hagen. So when there's a blackout, either in Port Moresby or in Hagen, I am in the same boat as all of you. I go to the same inconvenience like all of us. Now, for the city of Leh, just like many others, including Wau and Bulolo, we have two kinds of solutions. One long-term and a short-term solution. Ley gets its power from three sources. One from the main Rama grid from Yonke down, one from the Korean group POSCO, and the other one from PNG Forest Products. That power source supplies at least 10 megawatts to the city of Ley. Unfortunately for all of us, a contract that has been given to a Chinese company to conduct a thorough rehabilitation and upgrade of the systems at Yonke is taking longer than expected, partly to a combination of incompetence on our part. We've realized this problem and we have given this contractor a deadline. And under this contract, we cannot do much except to threaten them and to give a deadline. And hopefully before the end of this year, this much needed rehabilitation work will be completed and then full capacity will be restored. So they will be able to service not only Ley, Mori province, but the rest of the Highlands province and Medang. We're also looking at providing power to this very important city of Ley through a 15 megawatt solar farm that has been developed. KCH has bought the land for 10 million kina, and we are now undergoing a tender process where a contractor has been selected to install the solar project at the cost of KCH and PNG Power. And we have also been talking to the Deputy Prime Minister and the Member for Ley about a possible power source provided by a vessel, maritime-based vessel. And discussions are ongoing, and we hope to be able to finalize that as long as PNG Power and this contractor agree on the power price. PNG Power has been settled with uneconomic power purchase agreement in the past, where I must also emphasize these leaders that PNG Power has entered into arrangements where, rather than following the normal course of agreeing and paying for the actual energy supplied and provided by those IPPs, under the agreement, PNG Power is expected to pay for the cost of depreciation, capital recovery costs, which are unheard of in the industry. This was done when my predecessor, someone who's no longer around to defend himself, was alive. And we have been working very hard to untangle ourselves from this mess. And it is not that easy. On top of that, when we have the single largest customer who also has to juggle with the competing interests of this country from a limited budget to actually take care of paying for the bills, we have those challenges. But that is not to say that PNG Power and itself have not done anything, have sat back and done nothing. We have been actively looking at providing long-term as well as short-term solutions to the city of Ley. And we have made some improvements. And I have kept our Deputy Prime Minister and the Member for Ley involved regularly. But if it is a wish of the members from Mori Province that they wish to be informed regularly, I can of course inform them periodically if they want. But I have been doing my part by informing the Deputy Prime Minister and the Member for Ley. So I must, on behalf of PNG Power, and apologize. I do not feel embarrassed apologizing, but this I think that we're working very hard. We have not ignored the problems that have been faced by a very, very important city in Ley. And even the members of the Chamber of Commerce bombard me daily. So, but that comes with leadership, and we are doing those things. But I want to thank the good member for Warrior for this important question, and I can assure him and our people from Ley that it is not that this government and of course the Ministry of State Enterprise have sat back and done nothing. We are doing everything we can to make sure we restore and maintain a consistent, reliable supply of power, not only to Ley, but the rest of the Highlands and Medang. Thank you, Mr. Acting Speaker.
We have a supplementary. The Honourable Member for Sinasina Yangon.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Speaker. Energy supply, electricity supply is a foundation to our economy. So we cannot be playing football with it. If there's a practical problem, we must come to practical solutions very fast. Not kicking it down the field forever and forever. 5 years ago, we were on this floor, same minister, sitting in the same chair, when discussing the edible power and the Dirio power supply into Port Moresby, said, by December in that year, power supply problems for Port Moresby will be history. 5 years later, we still have the same problems. Ley has the same problems. Kundiawa has the same problems. Everywhere in Papua New Guinea we work, we have the same problems. Nobody's offering any solution. Where's the leadership? Who's the leader?
Honorable,
the leader is
Honorable
the
Member,
minister.
what's your supplementary?
Supplementary? I got 2 supplementary questions. How long does it have to take to find out practical solutions to the power supply problem in this country? How long? This minister has been the Minister for State of Enterprise for more than 10 years. Now, when are we going to have the solutions? Mr. Prime Minister, what is the Prime Minister doing about this lack of performance? Lack of alternatives.
Honorable Member, if you start calling Prime Minister and others, it will be, the supplementary question will be out of...
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Prime Minister, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, Section 141 of our standing order does inform all of us not to use imputations, inferences, assumptions, he can go straight asking his questions, not making imputations.
Yes, Honorable Prime Minister, that is why I'm trying to get to the Honorable Member to get straight to your question instead of calling other members. You know, it's supplementary, and that supplementary question I was listening to is at least you do a supplementary question to an issue in Ley, which the Honorable Member for Wawaria is raising question, and that question you are now taking it to other part of the province is like a new question,
It's
not in supplementary.
Ley is part of Papua New Guinea. Unless it's something happened in Ley that I don't know.
Okay, I'll allow you to go straight to your question, Honorable Member.
Number 2, if that government, of which the minister is part of, have no solution to putting a decisive end to our power problems, Ley and in Papua New Guinea, can they now bite the bitter pill, bite the bullet, sell the whole shooting match, sell PNG power, privatize it, just like we did with PNG-BC, Papua New Guinea Banking Corporation, and we have been doing very well out of it, out of the resulting company, which is Bank of South Pacific. If we can do well, a lot better by privatizing a state-owned enterprise, being PNG-BC, why don't we do the same thing here with PNG Power and put an end to these problems? Because private sector know how to operate a business, not the government.
Here.
Honorable Member, I was thinking to rule your supplementary question out of order, but you have already completed the question, so I'll allow the Minister to respond to that. I think the issue of power in the country is an issue that everybody is facing, so I'll allow the Minister to respond to the question the Honorable Member for Sinai Yongumul have raised.
Thank you, Acting Speaker. I want to thank the Member for Sinai Yongumul for his important question. I want to start by pointing out that no single minister in any government provides solutions to every problem. Even himself, when he was the Minister for Justice and even the Minister of Petroleum and Energy. And if he's asking for a leader, yes, I'm the minister responsible.
All initiatives come from the minister. All initiatives. Minister for Mining cannot interfere in state-owned enterprises. No Minister for Health. So anything to do with SOEs starts from the office of the Minister for State-owned Enterprise. He has to initiate it. That's the point. Let's not pass the buck.
Honorable Member, I'll rule your point of order out of order, because when you call for the point of order, I haven't asked you yet, and you went ahead and raised a point of order. Then I'll allow the Minister to continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If the member wants to get publicity, that is his problem. All I'm saying is that when he was minister himself, he didn't even deliver He didn't deliver, so there's no point in us scoring points here. And if he's asking for a leadership, I am the leader here, like himself. No minister, not prime minister, can provide solutions to every problem in this country. And contrary to what the good member is saying, I was not minister for 10 years. That is a complete distortion of facts. Not 10 years. I took over in 2017 from the late Ben Micah. He declared a state of emergency. He tried within his means to turn around PNG power. He wasn't able to do it in 2 years. And then I was minister for 2 years, from 2017 until 2019. 2 years. And when Prime Minister Marabe took over, he appointed me minister in 2022, or 2020. So it is not true for the good member to claim that I was minister for 10 years. So you should check his facts. Like every other minister and every other prime minister, provide solutions. And I've always been frank and open about the things that we are doing to turn this country around. We can start blaming each other and blame on legacy issues, but these are things when we try to do everything that we can within a short period of time, the results don't immediately show themselves. But I can say this. If you look at the facts and the statistics, the frequency of blackouts in this country have been reduced significantly. We're now looking at trying to manage the issues in Wewak, for example, even in Kimbe. These are sea centers who don't deliver any profits for this company. They are sea centers. In the case of Leh, which is a profitable center, we've tried our best to manage it, and we will still get there eventually. So it is not for us to point fingers at each other and claim political mileage. We're doing our best. So in the case of blackouts right throughout the country, essentially we must put things in context. There are many other sea centers which don't even provide a return for PNG Power. Yet we expect PNG Power to make a profit. And because it's ultimately owned by our people, PNG Power has no choice but to set aside money to continue to operate unprofitable centers, all in the name of development for our country. Those are the challenges we are going through. It is not easy. We have three profitable centers, mainly, but mostly Leh and the Warrangoid grid in Eastern Britain. The rest, most of them are sea centers. So we are trying to do our best. In the case of Port Moresby, for example, it is not as if the government has not allocated money. The government allocated 111 million kina as its contribution to the development of the Edebu project. Most of you will have seen the large, brand new transmission towers and the lines crisscrossing Port Moresby. And we now have reliability, at least reliable service in Port Moresby now. On top of that, the government also allocated 112 million kina to PNG Power to help fund.
Honorable Governor from Morobe, what's your point of order?
Point of order. Minister is trying to explain his inability to solve this problem. Continue to do it. Don't think that we are stupid people sitting in this parliament. We are intelligent people sitting in this parliament. We represent our people. People have given us the mandate to be here. Now, the honourable member for Sinasina Yongomul has asked a valid question to you. Supplementary question. He said the PNG Power has failed this nation to solve the problem of power provisions in this country. Because without power, this country is not going to move. That is why he has proposed, and it's a valid question, point to you, is to answer. What are we going to do? What are you going to do with PNG Power? Are we going to continue to have them there? Or as he's proposing, have them vacated and privatize it so that other people who can do the job can come in? And that is a valid question and valid point, and this country wants to know, and don't beat around the bush.
Honorable Minister, you make your reply.
The good governor is very impatient. He thinks he has all the answers, but he doesn't. Against that background, you must also remember that we as a government have never allowed PNG Power to increase its prices. No tariff increase for the last couple of years. For the last 10 years, for example. And we're already aware that this government, led by our Prime Minister, made a decision to privatize PNG Power. And we are past the privatization. And we are going through that process. I'm surprised our good governor is not aware of that. He has been reading, I suppose. So,
I would accept that, Brian. I will not.
You don't have to.
And I speak on behalf of...
Honorable Governor. Honorable Governor, if you want to make a point of order... Honorable Governor. Honorable Governor of Morobe. Honorable members, when you call for a point of order, you wait for the chair to ask you to raise your point of order. You don't just take point of order and stand up and speak as you wish. So, honorable member, thank you. Allow the minister to complete your reply. We have another point of order. Honorable member for Abao.
Honorable Acting Speaker, the time is ticking, and yesterday you made a commitment to extend question time today.
The honorable member, I remember I don't make a commitment. It is the House that will ask to extend the time. And I cannot make a commitment to extend with my own power. So, honorable member, your point of order is out of order. I'll allow the minister, if you have a reply, otherwise our question time slaps.
Yeah. Thank you, Acting Speaker. Just to summarize, I don't have to agree to the government's views, nor does he have to agree with. What I'm saying is this. Our government has already announced in public that PNG Power will be partially privatized. So I've answered the good member for Senator Nyong'o's question. So what is the governor from Morobe on about? That decision was made in December last year, and it is going through a process.
Order.
Selling, Mr. Acting Speaker, selling a company like PNG Power will not be done through a fire sale. Everyone wants to buy it at a cheap price. It is a strategic national asset of this country. And if we are going down the path of public privatization, we have got to make sure that we go through the books properly, proper valuation is done so that our people do get a return for the investment. We are not in the business of selling companies just for the sake of selling. Like PNGBC, for example. Thank you, Mr. Acting Speaker.